Sometimes we get transmissions in that the converters won't come off, and that usually means the input shaft is broken. So this is our persuasive way of getting the converter off. So basically tie it to a post, and we're going to pull the converter off, and we're going to see what kind of carnage is in there. So this one obviously has a broken input shaft, and then it's going to probably need a pump, but we'll see what it looks like when we get the thing apart. Let these guys fix it. Okay, we've got the strands apart. This is the broken input shaft, and you can see the pump. It's torn up inside of here just from contamination. This is your stator tube that broke as well. So most of the time when it breaks an input shaft, you're going to have pump damage. Occasionally you get lucky and you don't have pump damage, but then another thing that we see is contamination from the pump goes directly into the valve body. So the valve body has a bunch of these small little metal fragments in it. So you really can't get by with just fixing the parts and putting the valve body back in. You got to pull the valve body down. Really, the whole thing needs cleaned and get all the contamination out of it. The transmission coolers often are also have a bunch of contamination introduced into them because fluid comes straight from the pump, goes through the valve body switch valve, and then goes straight into the cooler circuit. So if you ever break an input shaft and you buy a new transmission, make sure you thoroughly flush your coolers. But this one, we're going to probably replace the frictions and steels, do a refresh basically, put a new pump, new input in it, send the converter out to DPC and have them cut and clean it, get the broken input shaft out of it, put a new hub in it, and he'll be back on the road. Okay, we've got a first gen project here. This is a 1990 truck, originally a VE pump with no intercooler. The customer brought it to us as kind of a unfinished project. This was a frame off truck that he had started himself, and he reinforced the frame, and he's a pipe fitter, so he's wanting it to pull his fifth wheel camper and maybe a welder on the bed. So it needs a truck that needs to actually do some work, and it's got a 12 valve motor that he's bought a 215 pump on it. Maybe it's a 180 pump actually. 180 pump and Enterprise engine, did the engine. It's nothing fancy. It's pretty close to a stock rebuild. Just went through with new starter, new alternator, just replacing everything top to bottom.
What you got there?
I got dollar bets on how much Red's truck's gonna make. Landon says 317. Josh says 289. Larson says 373. I say 392. You want in on a dollar bet?
I don't even know if I have a dollar.
Well, if you're right, you don't have to pay.
We have fun on the dyno sometimes. We're gonna go back there. We're gonna check this bad boy out. Connor's MIA. So, I'm the camera person today because why not? So, look at that. It's so shiny. So, gonna make a few runs and see who wins a couple of dollars.
So far, it looks like Josh is going to be winning. That makes a lot of noise for 269 horsepower.
Lot of whistling.
Yeah, we blew a boot. We need some longer boots. I don't understand why they have those short boots on there.
Because I did it, okay?
It's really hard to find a good
I did not have the
fabricator.
long 3-inch bubble boots, so I
Look at him getting all defensive.
Blame me. I'm the problem for every single thing in the shop. I suck. I'm terrible at what I do. I don't even know why I'm around. Anybody can take my job. Come and interview very nicely. Do not have any scars on your face. I promise.
Is that stock fuel?
It has to be stock fuel. There's no way. No, with those turbos is gonna make more than that power.
It spools fast.
Yeah,
like,
it's
I think it would be a turd if it had stock fuel. Like as far as drivability, it's responsive. It's not lazy.
How much does it make?
3-inch? lawnmower?
Well, no, obviously we don't have.
No, we are out. I
See,
mean,
we put it
we had big, dumb, ugly orange ones.
We'll put that back on there. We'll just give
Three,
it a
couple
couple.
of orange.
The intake, that's
You don't
three
got the orange.
Yeah.
You ain't doing it
I
right.
used one on Tim Hall's.
Back in my day out on the farm.
You used duct tape, didn't you?
You laugh, but I made it
You actually did.
too shied the first time in my personal truck out there when it had the 472 on it. I blew a intercooler boot and did not have one, and header wrap, zip ties, and duct tape made it the whole rest of the way.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, man. He rigged it. He's too familiar with them. Anyways, we just got done with Red's truck. Made 290 horsepower. As you saw, Josh guessed 289. So I guess he won a few bucks for today. As far as power, it spools quickly and customer's happy with it. So I will get him off the dyno and send him on the way.
We're gonna go on a ride in the old first gen. It's Josh's favorite project.
Can't pull out in front of that bike because you can't outrun them.
Right. We made 292 horsepower and 792 foot-pounds of torque on the dyno yesterday. But the thing has low gears in it, and without window seals and insulation on the dash, the turbo whistle is pretty impressive.